Yeah, guys. So that's Theater of Pain, one of my favorite dungeons back in the days, or maybe it wasn't. I don't remember, but I for sure like to. Ooh. To time like higher keys from it, because I was semi-pro, so good memories, you know. It's a little bit nostalgic when I play Theater of Pain nowadays. By the way, I'm one of the few players that liked Shadowlands very much. Like I really enjoyed it. I don't know what people didn't like so much. I mean, I can guess, of course, but it was quite a big and sophisticated expansion with many new territories. The factions I loved that you could choose from those few factions, and they had like main headquarter, etc., etc. All that content was pretty nice. But oh well, interest. People love the old WoW much more. The old WoW, by the way, like the first few expansions, for me, myself, I think they were pretty straightforward. It's an open world game, everyone knows that. One of the first in the genre that was with such graphics, especially, which is so open world, like you can almost do anything. But on the other hand, it's not exactly like that, because you're still limited to playing dungeons, raids, participating in other events like such as Torghast. It was in Shadowlands. Nowadays we got the Deus, etc., etc., and that's what I liked about Shadowlands the most, that it wasn't so. It's a little bit freer. You could make more things and earn rewards in more ways. And the mythic dungeons were actually very nice. The raids were interesting also, if you ask me. The story was very important. The Shadowlands as a concept is very important for World of Warcraft. It's not really in the main story. I can... Well, many people have told me that. And yeah, I can relate to that, maybe. But it's a very important plane of existence, like between the worlds, and I think that was one of the best things, if you ask me, about Shadowlands. It was the other side, the other world. And yeah, it actually was pretty successful as an expansion. Not many people know that, but many newcomers and many of the old like players, you know, the loyal clients of WoW, you know, the loyalists left at that point. So it was mainly focused on the new audience, on the new people, and I think that's first of all a good marketing. It's true, but also games shall be like that. You shall actually you should actually make place for new players, so they can start anew. They can start with this game, and Shadowlands was very friendly in that manner. A little bit less sophisticated as mechanics, I guess. There were some wow, some aspects, concepts of the game that were literally made easier by design for the players, so they can actually get hyped, because WoW is a little bit too sophisticated game for many. It's not a hard game, it's not very hard to play it, but it's sophisticated. There are so many mechanics, so it's not user friendly for the new players, because most of the people are like, there are players that have been already playing for 20 years. Who am I to challenge them now? I have no chance, and that's a game after all. It's not the idea to be super how to put it, competitive. It's competitive, it's true, it's competitive, but it doesn't have to be like that. You don't need to quit just because there are players that are much better than yourself. But it was like that. It was like the legends were just ignoring the newcomers if they are not super grinders, and if they wanted to grind and become as good and as collect all of the mounts, all that stuff, that's one of the final components of the game, to already got all the transmogs, all the mounts, etc, etc. If you want to do that, you gotta be a person with no personal life, literally. It's a giant game. Of course, now it's much easier, and by the way, they made the classic WoW at the very same time. It was already the second, maybe the Burning Crusade was already on when Shadowlands came, and yeah, most of the old players were playing the classic expansion, and that actually left place for the newcomers to feel like home. And I think it was a nice thing, but many people didn't appreciate that. Also, there were changings, a change in the main team working on the game, as you know. It's probably. Oh no. Okay. Good that it's only +2. And yeah, I guess that got many people a little bit upset about it. But now we're with some of the founders. And people are happy again. Or so they say. I don't know how exactly successful the war within is, but I think it's pretty successful in the. We gotta see some stats. But it's very much like the old WoW, and they really didn't take so much from Shadowlands, which is a little bit strange if you ask me. Nice. And I was also very good in surviving at this exact dungeon with my warlock. And with the Demon Hunter, like Vengeance Demon Hunters, it just survives. on anything. It's hard to kill it even if you want.
I don't remember which one was my old trinket, because there's something a little bit wrong with this one. I mean, I think the old one was working better actually. Maybe I'm wrong about it. Not sure. But it's possible, that it's very probable that I'm actually right about that. Anyway. Some of the guys here are really fighting. The mechanics says it's better just for one of the players to surrender
to the one with the more damage at this point. And not lose damage on boss, because you gotta prove something to yourself. But easier said than done, of course, so... yeah. Nice. The silence totally wouldn't be a problem if I was playing seriously, but I really don't find it necessary. Better do the best for the team and not mess around in this challenge. I like participating in challenges only if needed, and sometimes cause I just wanna prove something. But if I can actually avoid challenge and have the same result, even with that, I would, in most of the cases, I forgot which one was it. I'll most probably go with it on like 90% of the time. If I got the choice, I'll avoid challenge most probably. Like challenge between players, between colleagues, between, you know, even entrepreneurs. It depends, it could be creative, like it could be fulfilling and you can learn something from it. If that's the case, absolutely I'll participate most of the in most of the cases. It depends on other factors, like 90+% of the time, but if it's just to see who's better, I mean, I really don't care about that stuff. If I had a root wild business, for example, most probably it wouldn't be like that. But I mean, look, my ideology is always try to challenge your past self. You know, the challenge the you from yesterday, be better than him, and that's enough. In my case, for example, and that's enough. That just be better than yesterday. Don't challenge. I mean, challenging other people, it's just necessary. It's part of the game. It's sometimes super interesting. It's like important, even if you want to, especially for the business. But on the other hand, if you don't need to do that, I have never understood why some people are so focused on challenging others. I understand that. It's psychologically it's proven that those people that are always like focusing on beating someone in something, it doesn't matter what, have actually the whole self-esteem and that they want to prove something to themselves. They are practically proving they can make it, etc., etc. But the very high self-confidence also helps a lot. So if you have challenged many people and won in most of the cases, for example, like most of them, it doesn't matter, 60% plus, for example, you have more confidence and you'll be like sure that you can win in many situations that others wouldn't believe in themselves. You know that practically you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And I've done that very much when I was very young, my teenage years mostly. But yeah, so I live that. Been there, done that. Don't need to do that anymore. I remember now why I left this dungeon so much. Because it's very hard to be timed and you are successfully doing that. I'm a very PvE player, like I love to challenge the environment in so many ways, in most of the ways possible. But not so much the players, like if I have to be absolutely honest, I love challenging unfair players like people that are loving to like play dirty. I'd like to see them lose. In many cases, of course, that's not. And sometimes champions, like if I think no one, if someone says no one can challenge this person in that manner, and I get a little bit ambitious if I got the right skills, of course, and any chance of winning, etc., etc., in participating in such challenge. It kind of gets me motivated, but if that's not the case, for example, I've got many friends that just love challenging their friends on anything. Like it could be the drinking challenge, it could be like really anything. For example, snowboarding, like I don't know, biking, all that stuff. I love sparrings, but just because of the sparrings, if you understand me. Just because I love like it gets you. It's got so much value. Those sparrings are just you know, you're always grading, you're always getting, you're always leveling when you're sparring with someone. That's a totally different story. And just testing your skills, etc., etc. And in most of the cases, if everything is like it has to be, like both of the challengers in this particular case want the best for the other one too, and they want to be the best possible sparring partners and the best possible the hardest possible opponent, so they can give the most value to the other person too, so can learn something from that fight. And that's one of the exceptions. Nice. Oh, that's the ruby. Nice. Can practically use that. Does someone need that ring? Something. Yeah. See ya also, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be here hopefully tomorrow with another video. Bye bye.